All right, everybody. It's another episode of the Reserve Band Podcast. I'm Jake Brown. I got Billy GP.
The damage is already done, Ruff.
Shag Ruffin.
Draconis, you gotta burn that.
What's up, Stan?
What's good?
Man, we got a great episode for you today.
GP tripping.
Y'all, we gotta talk about Aisha Curry and the Red Table Talk.
Nah, Aisha tripping.
We gotta, man.
Not necessarily, but alright, keep going.
What's happening with Roe versus Wade? We gotta talk about that.
Hey, auntie.
We'll tell you what that is during the episode. We're gonna talk about Kyrie. We're gonna talk about the Lakers.
Dumpster fire.
And I hope y'all got what y'all needed for Mother's Day. We appreciate you, ladies.
If you didn't get what you needed for Mother's Day, holla at your cousin.
And so much more. Right after this.
You know your credit score bad. I'm not surprised that's solid quality stuff. Right. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books when it's Wait a minute. Like, if I want you, I ain't taking you to Waffle House at 4 a.m. Cause you bullshit. Hey, look, I care about you. We going to Waffle House.
What's up, everybody? We are back. We have a great episode for you today. We're going to be talking about this second installment of Biscuits and Bourbon first, though.
Y'all better be ready.
May 19th. That is this Sunday. It's at the Trademark downtown in Baton Rouge.
Tickets.
If you have not done so, you better get your ticket, man. We're going to have multiple giveaways from our sponsors. We're going to have a photo booth from the Infinity photo booth.
Biscuits and that bourbon, and we swerve.
We got a cameraman to capture all these beautiful, vibrant people.
Gotta give them the entertainment, bro. Gotta give them the entertainment.
We got all kinds of people, from professionals to entrepreneurs to some of the recent graduates and everything in between. And while we at it, we got live entertainment. We got T-Ray, the violinist, playing the hip-hop, the R&B, and the jazz for you. We got Cool Nasty.
Oh, I'm getting ready for Cool Nasty again.
And they go on jazz infusion, R&B, they do it all. And it's going to be funky.
That boy said funky.
And we got DJ FTK. What's up, brother?
Wiki. Toned it down this year. You went a little bit hard last.
Yeah, you went.
Yeah,
last
toward
hour.
the end.
Brother forgot it was a refined event.
Toward the end.
But look, don't be that person that come to the door trying to buy a ticket. We ain't selling no tickets at the
No
door.
tickets will be sold at the door.
So you might have a few hours before the event, you might be able to buy you a ticket, but don't try to show up at the door and buy a ticket because you're gonna play yourself.
And dress appropriately. It is brunch attire. No athletic wear will be admitted.
That mean no tennis shoes, y'all. And definitely no. What was the T-shirt last year? You don't remember?
Man, I don't
You talking about that girl?
Yeah.
I mean, she had on a whole
No, she had
jersey.
She had a soccer fit and like a Nike tennis hat.
No.
Well, we not outfit shaming, but you just gotta dress the grown man part, the grown woman part.
Now she needs to be shamed.
Dress
Dress
like
the
an
part
adult.
so you don't embarrass yourself
Right.
at the event.
Because we will turn you around at the door. Sorry, it's just a vibe.
Anyway, let's keep it moving. Stop what you're doing right now and subscribe if you like our content. Also, share this episode with somebody else, a friend, a family member. It doesn't matter. And we're going to keep on moving, man, to this first topic. I know y'all want to talk, y'all want to hear about this.
I wanted to say share with your cousin. That's
Well,
an
baby,
inside joke, y'all.
Oh,
Maybe
the
not.
shade. The shade. Somebody not saying that.
all right, y'all. All right. We going to talk about Aisha Curry and the Red Table Talk.
All right.
You know, she made some remarks about how women throw themselves at her husband.
Mm-hmm.
But she said about the past 10 years or so, men don't approach her. They don't holler.
Right.
So there's been a lot of criticism. And, a few people defending her
Right.
on social media, talking about, if you married, why do you need to have attention? So, I mean, fellas, what y'all think about that?
Hold on, let me get into this without y'all attacking me.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Go first.
Go ahead.
I think it was the wrong time, the wrong place. Although I can sympathize with her, when you're in the public eye, you have to think about your brand, your husband's brand. And it's not like you just this wife that doesn't get to do anything with your life. You have a successful restaurant. You have successful brands that do not deal with just what your husband does. So let's say that it was just you, Aisha Curry, running y'all's successful restaurant, and Steph didn't do anything. It would be totally wrong for him as a man to say what he said without thinking about how you'd feel. Because he would get all the backlash in America about how he has this great wife,
I got a
and
point.
why does he want,
I got a point for that.
and why does he want attention from women? I'm just saying that he's not an NBA player at this point. He's just the husband.
I don't buy. Are you saying it because she talked about that while the playoffs are going on?
No, it don't have nothing to do with the playoffs.
He did have a bad game.
It don't have.
One of them games.
He had a bad series until Game 6.
It don't have nothing to do with the playoffs. It's because that I honestly don't get why attention from other people validates you as a husband or wife when that you don't have a bad husband or wife that's giving you all the attention you want. But I do empathize with her in the fact that we all want attention. Maybe it just didn't come across in the right way.
Okay, I'm a dive in right here. When I first heard about this, you know, even before I actually saw it, you know, I kind of was thinking to myself, I'm like, you married, right? You need attention initially. But as I thought about it some more and I tried to put myself in her shoes, I felt like if I was married to somebody that was incredibly famous, you know, and, you know, women wasn't giving me the look, you know, like I'd like to have him, like I would have the same issue. Like, so I don't blame her for feeling, you know, insecure to some degree, because I think everybody wants to feel attractive. And I think that's what ultimately this was about for her.
All right, it could be one issue if she doesn't feel attractive in her relationship, or do you not feel attractive to people who don't matter? But at the same time, this speaks volumes about who your husband is and who you are as a woman, that guys don't even think to step to you in that manner. Because most of the time, when guys see that, all right, she has this phenomenal husband, I'm not even about to interfere, like she's married in the first place, guys gonna respect that ring 80% of the time. 90% of the time. Well, it's way more than when a woman would do. But let me finish with this.
Go ahead.
So it speaks volumes on the type of man that Stephen Curry is, because people not disrespecting him. It speaks volume on you, how you carry yourself as a woman, because men don't even think they have a chance to disrespect you in that manner for you to even reply. That's just how I feel about it. It just tells me that you carry yourself in an amazing way, and your husband has the respect of men.
I think, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the fact that she's a public figure makes her a little bit more unapproachable. I'm pretty sure that other beautiful women who are married still get approached by dudes, and dudes aren't necessarily worried about that ring. Because, I mean, you hear all the time where dudes be like, well, I can't be your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. I don't think that's necessarily stopping dudes, and I'm not gonna say that it's just a ton more women than dudes who don't care about a ring.
I've never heard that you can't have friends when it comes to a husband. I heard that when it comes to boyfriends, but not husbands.
Well, you must not know too many New Orleans dudes.
Well, I actually think it's a little different. I think that guys, before they will holler at a woman that's taken, do a little analysis. If they respect the guy that she with, they not gonna mess with it. If they don't respect the guy that she with, or you know they think he's soft, or they don't like him, then they might would.
And that's what I'm saying. He got the respect of the world. He's one of the most likable men in the world.
That's I agree with that.
But
now I don't think women do that analysis.
Well, I can agree with it. I'm just not gonna sit there and say that it's like just overwhelmingly like just one sided versus the other. Like
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the way that they evaluate those kind of
no.
situations is different.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying that it's not overwhelmingly favored to one side, but I mean, I guess I understood where she was coming from. I mean, I don't think that she was trying to say that she wanted the attention of guys as far as she actually wanted to like entertain them and flirt with them and this, that, and the other. But I understand that she might want a compliment. You know what I'm saying? She may want that type of validation. Women like to know that they're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And yes, people can say that.
She want a chance to say no.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody likes to feel attractive.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's natural.
Yeah, men too.
Yeah,
That's all
so
I'm saying.
you know, like even with guys, like if you know, you walk by somebody, they like, man, you smell real good. Like I like your cologne. If it's a woman like that, I mean, you'd be like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, but so people like that, so it's natural. I think the only issue that I could potentially come up with is the fact that she did it on a public stage, even though I believe that podcast is meant for those type of discussions. That podcast is meant for those intimate, deep discussions where people are just open and honest. And as far as your point about, you know, I guess kind of insinuating like you doing that without, you know, talking to your partner or whatever, I'm pretty sure Steph knew or was aware of what she was going to say prior to the episode actually
I
dropping.
ain't saying that you did it without consenting your partner.
Well,
I'm honestly not sure.
I'm just saying that, all right, if I, as a man, go out and knowing that I have a partner, and I say that I like the attention of other women, or I want to get the attention of other women, or if I don't feel like nothing, if I don't feel like I'm nothing without the attention of other women, I wouldn't say that, because I would take into account that my partner might feel a way about
That
this.
goes to my point though. One, she didn't say she didn't feel like nothing. I want to clarify that. And two, my point is, yeah, you saying that, but I'm pretty sure that discussion was had with Steph prior to the episode even dropping. So he was fully aware of what was probably going to be said on that episode, and he probably could have got it cut if he really wanted to. Like, I don't think that she just went into it, said all this stuff.
I didn't say that either.
I know you didn't say that. I'm just putting it out there. Like
Well,
that, you know, I'm pretty sure he had an idea about it.
Well,
I don't think he was like totally caught off guard by it. Like, I don't think that was the case.
Well, one thing I will say, I'm not gonna presume that she intended to have that discussion, because I mean we have outlines all the time.
Right.
Come on
And they
here,
go left.
Right.
and I don't even be planning on saying a lot of the stuff that I say.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying she went into it knowing she was going to say that, but I'm saying before the episode even aired,
yeah.
I'm saying I'm pretty sure, I would think,
Yeah,
as a married person, that she probably had that conversation. Like,
Well,
yo,
yeah.
I said
Well,
this on this
So
show.
what the thing about it is, I don't have an issue with her necessarily having that in the back of her head, or maybe even voicing that to Steph in the sense that, okay, well, you know, you might be the only man that finds me attractive. What's going on? You know, she might have some insecurities, and that's fine. That's natural. I don't want to make it seem like that's something to, you know, that can't happen, right? But for me, the only issue that I have with it is, you know, in my opinion, when you're married, you have to be very careful about things that you say outside of closed doors, right?
Well,
And
not
I
if
feel
it-
like,
not if
and
your
I feel like that
partner-
was something that Steph had to deal with.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah,
though?
as a married brother,
don't-
sure can.
But if your partner is fine with it, what does the opinions of other people matter?
Well, it's not necessarily the opinions of other people. You know, I just feel like, you know, and as the sports guy in the room, I hate to make it all about basketball, but, you know, the man's in the middle of a playoff run, and they're having a tough series, a grinded out series against the Rockets, and now all of a sudden, because she made this comment, there's a distraction there.
But
Right.
To me,
it's
that's
not
a problem.
It's not a distraction to him if he's okay with it. That's a coincidence that he had a bad game. if she said something.
I'm not saying it caused the bad game.
I'm not saying you said it caused it, but you're saying that in public opinion, it's causing his bad game because of the distraction.
That's not at all what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the fact that the way other people perceived it, whether he was okay with it or not, the media brought it to this man and asked him questions, and he had to deal with it.
Right.
Now, whether he's okay with it, whether he agrees with what she had to say, or whether he don't agree with it, because I thought he handled himself well and he had his wife back as he should. But the fact that regardless of how he felt about it, that's still something he had to deal with, in my opinion, at the worst possible time.
I feel him on that.
So you don't think that there's an issue with her feeling this way?
Well,
One, the compliments and attention of being other than her husband.
I didn't feel like that's something that she said she needed. I felt like, because in a relationship, I've been in a long-term relationship before. I haven't been married, but I can see how she might feel like, well, because people age, people start to look a little different, and she might feel like, well, Steph has to love her because that's his wife, that's the mother of her of his children, and his opinion might be somewhat biased. So I can understand maybe a compliment from someone else might mean something different. So I'm not trying to say that wouldn't mean that. All I'm saying, the only thing I fault her for is voicing that in public. Now, if that's a conversation she won't have with her friends or with Steph, I'm cool with that.
Well, is your issue that she had it in public or that she had it at this point in time?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both, because the timing was absolutely terrible. I mean, I don't think she could have picked a worse time to have the conversation, me personally. And I don't think she should have said that publicly. Now, she wants to talk to her friends about it. She wants to talk to Steph. To me, that's cool, because I feel like what she feels is very human.
Right. I disagree.
What you disagree with?
Him saying that she shouldn't say that publicly. If he told her that, if she told him he was going on the show and he's okay with it, who are you to say what she can't say publicly?
It's just my opinion. It's not.
I mean, there's certain things you should know that you shouldn't say, but like I say, like Jay said, she probably didn't know that she was probably gonna go in there saying that. I mean, because like you say with the outline, sometimes we don't know what we about to say. But I'm pretty sure she had that conversation with him after the fact, and he probably signed off on it and allowed it to be public. Because they could have cut that easily if they wanted to. I'm sure they could have cut that part out.
I don't think they'd be like, nah, we ain't cutting it.
Right.
That's what you said. You said what you said.
Yeah, but look how much juice they got for them airing it, though. Because this has been a topic for how long? Like what? Strong week?
Yeah,
and it's been a strong topic for a week.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess, and we kind of talked about it earlier. Well, did you have any other opinions on it?
Nah, y'all go ahead.
It kind of brought into focus, and we were talking about it before we aired the podcast, or started the podcast, is that do men or women, who respects marriage more, or, who will respect that ring more, men or women? And it seems like a few of us have had conversations where it seems like people are saying that women care much less than guys.
Well, I do think that men respect marriages more, but not for the reasons. It's not like men just appreciate the sanctity of marriage more. I think it's because men actually do that analysis I was talking about.
So you just talking on the front initially?
Yes,
on the front end.
Like what kind of dude is this dude?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he a cool dude?
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I seen him, that dude been around him. It's only been 2 or 3 times. Right. I don't really know him,
right?
But he seemed like a real cool dude. Like men go through that thought process.
I go through that. I'm not ever about to shake your hand or be in your face and have wanted your girl or had lust for your girl or had a desire to hit your girl. I'm just not gonna deal with you like that. Women can completely be the total opposite. Or be a key, and be a sleep.
A lot of women that probably got one girl in their crew that they wouldn't leave their man.
Ooh, that's a generalization.
He said most. He ain't say all.
I said a lot,
Oh, you said a lot.
But yeah.
But that's still not all.
Yeah, no, I didn't say all. But a lot of y'all would not go to the grocery store unless she come with you.
Yeah, I mean, what you think, G?
Yeah, I kind of agree, man. It's weird because I think it's twofold. I think women would respect relationships a little bit more because I don't think men really respect relationships at all. But as far as like when it comes to marriage, I definitely think men respect marriage more because it's something. Just in my opinion, a woman will see a man with a ring on.
And be more attracted to him.
It'd be more attracted to him. I feel like she senses that stability, and she might want that for herself.
But how many times you see single women talking about them exposing dudes who come holler at them?
Yeah,
the
it's just
screenshots. So I mean,
I
is
mean,
it really?
I might take a lot of heat for this, but some women just don't know what they want because apparently, everybody wants to have their receipts. And they want to expose somebody, but at the same time,
Like
they'll go at somebody else's man's neck. That's just
sound like you don't got exposed.
life happens, bro.
Well, I think it's because women do know what they want. It's always been like that. One guy, his actions are romantic. The next guy, he's a stalker. Like it just,
and it's the same stuff.
It be the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But, that's the difference, whether you want them or not. I mean, it makes me think. Y'all know I always think back to some comedian when Chris Rock was talking about this, and he was like, if a guy sees, his partner bring a woman around that's real fine, he'll say, man, I won't be a woman like that.
Right.
Because she's real fine and she's really nice and cool.
I know what
He
you
said, if a woman friend is there, she bring the guy around, she'll say to herself, man, I want that man.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, look, this even goes. This goes into our Game of Thrones discussion. I ain't gonna speak on it too much, but that's just like
Spoiler alert.
ain't no spoiler because this happened a couple episodes ago. You got Brienne. You got Tormund on this end who really genuinely loves this woman. He don't know why he love her. He just loved that big woman.
He don't know why he love her.
Where's that big woman? It's the giant woman here. And she want Jamie. Well, Jamie is the person that she shouldn't want because Jamie want to smash his sister.
Mm-hmm.
He want to keep smashing his sister. He's in love with his sister.
He putting babies in his sister.
And she goes off with Jamie. Breaks Tormund's poor little heart. And then Jamie leave her like an elf boy.
My dog
Anyway.
Tormund bounced back quick though. Bounced back quick.
But that just goes to show Tormund would have never left you outside in the north in your robe at night while you about to sneak off to
they made
go
her
save
look
your
so
sister.
bad.
Well, we can't blame men for Brianne's bad dating decisions.
I'm not saying blame Brienne. I'm just saying like
No,
women
I'm-
would tend,
I'm
they
with-
tend to overlook some things that's good for them. Like that good guy who would have held her down.
Yeah.
Tormund will fight his last breath protecting her. Jamie gonna ride off to the north to die.
You ain't lying. So what if he spilled water everywhere
But
when
Jamie,
he tried to drink
Jamie
something?
like the young, educated, professional guy, and Tormund like the dude from the hood.
They're not necessarily from the hood.
Man, he a wildin', bro.
I mean, he might be he's a little rough around the edges, but at least he got two hands.
And he could protect them, defend their home. All right, you're right.
Yeah,
Tormund a savage.
Wait a minute.
She went for the glitz and the glam. She like that gold hand.
A man with one hand, less of a man?
To GP, accordingly.
I'm just saying, man. Like back in medieval times, like right now, a man with one hand could make a living, make a career for himself, do all kind of stuff today. But back in the medieval time, what you gonna do with one hand? You can't go work. You can't work with your hand.
He had a 24-karat gold hand. He could have took care of y'all for the rest of y'all life with that hand that he would have sacrificed.
Lannisters always pay their debts. That boy got money.
Man, ever since Tywin died, I ain't seen no debt paid. Matter of fact, they reneged on my dog Braun a couple times.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on subject.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I took us left, but that just goes to show that you can overlook a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you want somebody else
back to your point, yeah.
Because you want somebody else thing,
that's
which
a
was
valid-
seriously thing.
That's a very valid point.
Well, I don't know. I think that some guys what they'll say with using your Chris Rock one, hey, I want her, but I only want her temporarily.
Yeah.
Where women be like, I want him, period.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, guys. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not to say that you may be attracted to. It might take you a minute. Like you might have to not come around for a couple weeks, so you can get yourself together.
So that's what Tormund should have did.
I see guys being more like, say, dog, she got a friend versus, being lusting after her.
I want his.
Man,
Yeah.
you can't control your lust. You can control your actions.
You can control your lust.
Not when you first meet somebody.
You can control lust. I don't care what you say. You can want somebody, but it's only lust if you keep pursuing that and you don't tell yourself the reason why.
What's your definition of lust? Because lust is like that desire to have somebody, but that don't mean you actually about to go talk to them.
Nah, but
I mean, you can have a desire to want somebody, but lust is like the continuous act of wanting somebody to meet. So like, if I meet,
all he said.
No, I mean, I think.
You talking about in that moment?
Yes, I'm talking about in that moment.
You can't stop that.
In your mind, you over there thinking, "Ooh, woo, she bad."
So
Man,
okay, in that
we
moment
like-
you can control lust, and it no longer becomes lust when you respect the fact that it's your homie's woman, and you not finna lust after your homie's woman, so you can initially shut lust down.
I'm with Ruff on this one. You could be like, man, she bad, but
That's my
go ahead,
that's my
Jay
homie,
Brown.
That's my homie woman.
That's good
You
stuff.
can shut
Jay.
lust down. Don't tell me you can't.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, I don't like.
That's an initial attraction to me. That ain't lust. Lust is the continuation of it to me.
Then you find yourself fantasizing about the woman.
Let me define it.
Because I would keep it 100. I've had a friend or two. Well, one of them, I knew the woman before he met her, and the other one, like I've been in a situation where upon initially meeting that woman, like I was like, man, she feel pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it back.
But
the definition. I'll be finished.
But then, I was like, that's my homie friend. I'll go away for about a week and recondition my mind.
Right.
Like everybody that has a woman.
Right.
That's
But
my friend.
That's the reason why I'm telling you.
All of they women in my phone, like, sorry, Sid, but Sid, in my phone, she's staying wife. She's not Sid. Like,
I'm gonna help my dog Shag out with the point.
What's the definition?
The definition of lust as a noun is very strong sexual desire. Synonyms: sexual desire, sexual appetite, sexual longing, sexual passion, lustfulness. The verb: have a very strong desire for a very strong sexual desire for someone.
Now,
and that you can stop upon meeting somebody because
Well,
you respect the fact that they somebody else's.
Yeah, I'm with Ruff on this one.
Well, I will also say this. I don't have that issue anymore at 35.
Right.
But when I was a younger man, I couldn't.
You had to remove yourself.
I couldn't control the initial response.
Right.
Like that's how I felt. It felt like that. Now I gotten a lot older. It's different.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we got a good non-skeezing circle of friends. I like that.
Anyway, this feel like a good place to take a break, y'all. We'll be back with more right after this.
You know your credit score, man. I'm not gonna file you on stuff, but that's solid quality stuff. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books when it's like, if I want you, I ain't taking you to Waffle House at 2 a.m. You bullshit. I care about you. We going to Waffle House.
We are back. We just had a spirited discussion.
You can call it that.
For the record, I'm not, according to Shag's definition, I'm not lusting after anybody's girl. It's not an ongoing process. It just might be in a little initial shell shock. Like, that's quite a beautiful young lady that he has on his arm.
Good job, friend.
Yeah.
Calm your horn ass. Nah.
Well, everything still works properly, ladies.
No, you did not just plug yo on the podcast.
Hey.
Hey man, the closed mouth don't get fed. I ain't mad at it.
That's actually an interesting conversation because we about to talk a little bit about how the Supreme Court might have just opened a path to overturn Roe versus Wade. For those of you that don't know,
I was about to say.
that's the case that allows people to have abortions. So if that's overturned, then you would no longer be allowed to have an abortion. I'm gonna assume that a lot of you think that that's a pretty important thing.
Yep.
We're not just talking for the the people that deeply religious, strong morals, and conservative. We're not just talking about people that just wasn't careful. We're talking about people that were sexually assaulted and raped, and various other situations where people don't want to bring a baby in. Maybe concerned about passing on a disease or something.
Right.
I think part of that may be a ploy to keep a poor class in place, because most of the time people that have abortions can't really afford to carry their child for some reason, or it's for some reason like you said, or raped, or they just know it's not beneficial to them economically. So just seems like you always want to keep a poor working class to me.
You know what? I got a question. I had this conversation the other day, and Jay, I'm gonna direct this question towards you because you're the lawyer, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong. I get your point, and I just feel like it's all about rights. Like where does the mother's rights stop and where does the baby's rights start? Like,
Because going Catholicism on us.
Well, no, because as a Catholic, as a Christian, we're taught that abortion is wrong. So I'm going to separate church and state right quick, and I'm gonna go the opposite way.
All right.
Because legally, I don't think that you should be able to tell a woman what she can and can't do with her body.
Okay.
So my question is, like, how far do you go to protect a baby's rights to where you're infringing upon a mother's rights? Like, I know it's a lot of gray area, but as a lawyer, I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I'm going to preface this by saying I never practiced in this area.
Sure.
The only experience I have with it is from when I used to do a lot of criminal law. And the law at that time was, it's not a baby while it's in the womb.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fetus.
Sure.
Born alive baby.
Okay.
In the womb fetus. Like, if you didn't used to be a crime, but now if you do something to the mother that hurts the child while they're in the womb, it's I think feticide.
Yeah,
maybe?
feticide.
Yeah. So it's not homicide.
See, well, I guess I'm struggling because, and maybe I'm just looking at this.
You trying to see how far into the pregnancy?
But well, not necessarily how far into the pregnancy. Just in my mind, don't get me wrong. I understand you protect the baby, but I don't understand how you could tell, no matter how she got pregnant, I don't understand how you could tell a woman, look, you have to carry this baby. Like, I just don't see how legally you could.
Well, here it's only up to a certain amount of weeks. I think it's like 7 weeks, maybe.
Wait, what's your question?
I said, well, here it's only like a certain amount of weeks. Like, you can have it.
No,
like,
I
think
you
it's
gotta
like-
be like into the second trimester to where like you can't.
Yeah, I think it's like, was it 14? I gotta look it up.
Oh, it's 14.
It might be like
well, look
14.
it up. Yeah.
But I know, and I know what the law is. I know what y'all saying. It's just tough for me to just picture, like, okay, you telling a woman she got to carry a baby. I just don't. I don't get that. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but I don't get it.
Well, I mean, that's one of the issues here about telling a woman what to do with her body. Historically, at least recently,
Mm-hmm.
We've tried to stay away from anything that's evasive,
Right.
or traumatic, or could cause physical harm. I mean, some people die when they have babies.
Yeah.
True.
It's not common, but it happens.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or have other issues like postpartum depression. That that can be very extreme for some people. But let me talk about what just recently happened, and then we could talk about that a little more.
Okay.
So, the Supreme Court recently ruled on a case dating back to, I think it was like 1979, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, all this case did was it allowed, if I'm in Louisiana and Mississippi wronged me, I could sue Mississippi. Well, the case that was decided on Monday, Clarence Thomas wrote the decision. It says that if I'm in Louisiana, I can't sue Mississippi. They have immunity.
Wait, let's go back over this again.
How can Mississippi wrong you if you're in Louisiana? I guess I missed that.
Well, this case was a tax case. It was somebody that used to live in California that moved to Nevada, and what happened was Justice Anthony Scalia died.
Okay.
So the court was split 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
So the case just kind of, it didn't go away with prejudice. So that's why they can't sue again.
Okay.
Well, now you have 5 conservative Republicans sitting on the bench. So in a 5-4 decision, now the new law is in.
Gotcha.
There was a dissent wrote by Justice Kennedy, I believe. No, Justice Breyer, saying that this is a dangerous precedent that would allow them to potentially overrule Roe v. Wade.
But how? Like if you get an abortion in another state, that you
Because overruling a precedent typically requires what's called a special justification.
okay.
They didn't have one here. They just decided how they wanted to decide it because they felt like it was wrong.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
it lowers the standard for doing that.
Gotcha.
And at some point, when you have all these conservative judges that are anti-abortion,
Okay.
you got 5 of them and you got 4.
Right.
And now you just lowered the bar
Right.
to be able to overturn it.
Gotcha. I ended up finding the Louisiana abortion law, and although we'll probably get future guests on to come talk about the law in more detail, but it looks like in Louisiana you cannot have an abortion after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
Okay.
They say an abortion may be performed at or after 20 weeks post-fertilization only if the woman's life is endangered or her health is severely compromised.
All right, man. That's interesting because, after that recent legislation that's been going on, because they've been talking about this happening for a few weeks. There's a case out of Louisiana that's supposed to possibly go to the Supreme Court right during the 2020 presidential elections going on.
Would be Louisiana.
So, Georgia's governor just signed a heartbeat bill last Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's usually about 6 weeks, I believe, when you can start detecting a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, I believe, is supposed to vote this week on a near total abortion ban.
That's crazy though. 6 weeks? You think that's enough time?
So a lot of people don't even know they're pregnant.
Right.
Second trimester.
Right.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. Whatever.
Well, when you know.
I just wonder what's
What's the cause for this?
Because we as a country don't respect the church that much to say that it's a religious thing.
I mean,
I definitely agree.
The point you gave earlier about them wanting
Want to keep a poor working class.
I'd say it makes sense.
Because all right, we have so much debt. We have so much welfare and stuff we have to dish out. What's the point of making that many more people that's going to drain the economy, as you elite say, that can't help out, when most of the time it's going to be the poor people that need?
Well, that's an entirely different. Well, it's not different, but it's a much broader conversation. Because I have my own feelings about benefits, government benefits.
Yeah, we got a whole conversation on that.
And how that's designed to enhance the crippling of poor people.
Well, I also think it's a ploy to sway the emotions of more religious or Christian people, because they're making issues that might not be the main issues that you would vote on. They're trying to bring that out to the forefront. So that might try to swing some people to be more conservative or vote more conservative because they're doing, quote unquote, the right thing to protect the unborn.
Well, Mississippi and Ohio also recently passed heartbeat laws.
Yeah, I'm sure people gonna copy it left and right.
Iowa, North Dakota, and Kentucky had the laws up, but they were blocked.
Sound like a lot of red states to me, but
And I feel like a lot of these are that's the design to go to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's gonna be
in the next few years, definitely.
very interesting to see what happens over the next few years as we approach Roe v. Wade. A lot of you may be anti-abortion. A lot of you might be pro-women's rights, and a woman getting to decide what to do as it involves her own body.
Right.
So whether you're on one side or the other, I would encourage you to pay attention to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we will talk more about this moving forward.
It's funny. I pulled up CNN, and that's the first thing they were talking about.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, Roe v. Wade is a huge landmark case.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brown versus Board of Education, huge.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Y'all better be careful.
All right, y'all. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with more right after this.
You know your credit score bad. I'm not gonna call you on the Starbucks. That's solid quality time. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books when it's Wall Street? Like, if I want you, I ain't taking you to Waffle House at 2 a.m. You bullshit. I care about you. We going to Waffle House.
All right, everybody, we're back. Man, we done had some rough issues today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a deep conversation.
Let's change it up a little bit, man.
Yeah, let's talk about something a little bit lighter. We're going to talk about a little bit of sports. Ladies, hang in there, please.
Sports is good, ladies. It's good for the soul.
But if you want sports all the time, some great opinionated sports conversations, then you need to tune in to GP's new podcast, Highly Opinionated.
Go check out our boy.
Appreciate that, brother.
This man is giving us the great commentary.
That boy don't know nothing.
Sometimes
If
the
Jimmy
great
don't know
debate.
nothing, that boy knows sports.
I know. I was just
I
quick little
just
hate
say,
plug.
boy, this boy can give you the sports almanac from '89.
He don't know what his woman want to eat, but he knows sports.
Yeah, man.
He don't have a woman, by the way. He's still single.
He's single.
Y'all can shop for him at Biscuits and Bourbon.
That boy's at the shop.
Coming to you soon.
Shop GP.
In the world.
That's funny. But I appreciate the plug, bro. It's a good time. I really enjoy that.
All right. Well, big sports man, we're going to go to you first.
All right.
What do you think about Kyrie performance for the Celtics in the playoffs?
Man, I thought Kyrie was Kyrie. I don't think he played as bad as what people led on to say. You know, I don't think he shot particularly well, but in my opinion, man, Kyrie is one of those people who it's a case of being a great player in a system that don't fit you. Because I think Kyrie stumps the growth of those guys like Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, because we looked at the Boston Celtics and you look at a talent like Kyrie Irving, and common sense would be like, well, they're a better team with Kyrie Irving, but they played much better last year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Kyrie is going to have to leave. He's going to have to leave Boston. I think Boston is going to be a better team for it because they have good young pieces, and you don't need to try to force a square peg in a round hole. Even though Kyrie is a great player, he's top 10. I think the brother's a stud, but he just don't fit with that particular system, and they better off without him.
Damn. You
I
think
think-
New Orleans gonna try to trade for him now?
Well, he's a free agent. He's unrestricted.
Wow.
So the only way New Orleans could trade for him is if Danny Ainge agree to do a sign and trade to acquire Anthony Davis. But I don't really see that happening because you can't trade Kyrie straight up because is he going to want to come to New Orleans? Number one, will he sign that contract? And number two, you know, you can't lose Anthony Davis and just have Kyrie Irving straight up. To me, that's not a
This
fair
is what I
trade.
would do. Let's ride LeBron out of LA. Let's get Kyrie and Anthony Davis in LA.
They still ain't gonna win that.
Well, I'll say this though.
You might
I'd
get
rather them
Kyrie.
than LeBron.
Hey, why you
I'd
playing
rather them
though?
than LeBron.
Why you playing though? They need to trade LeBron.
Mhm.
The Lakers should trade LeBron right now. They're not going to do it, but they need to trade LeBron. He doesn't have a no trade clause in his contract. He's counting $38 million toward the cap next year.
Oh, LeBron for Anthony Davis?
Oh man, New Orleans would be stupid not to take that because LeBron's gonna put butts in the seats. The Pelicans not gonna win a championship
But
either way next year.
LeBron owned the NBA. That will never happen.
It's not. But if
Let's
they
talk
offered
things,
that,
let's talk about things that would.
That will happen.
The NBA will find a way to veto that.
yeah. Well,
LeBron
true.
will never go to a small market team
He
outside
won't.
of Cleveland.
But I do think the Lakers should trade him. They should definitely shop him.
That ain't gonna happen.
Well, they're not gonna win nothing with LeBron. Let's be real. They're not winning the championship with LeBron. Their front office is a hot mess right
Well,
now.
they about to pick up Kyrie.
niggas, don't blame LeBron. Like I ain't the biggest LeBron fan. But
I'm
if
not
you-
blaming him.
But if you put LeBron with players that fit LeBron, they would win. I'm not saying they would win a championship. They gonna go to the playoffs.
But who on the Lakers roster right now,
Nobody.
besides KCP, maybe Josh Hart, fit with LeBron?
But that's not LeBron's fault. You got to realize LeBron fighting upper management too. It ain't like LeBron just took over the Lakers and said, "Hey, y'all doing all this."
But you see, I will blame LeBron to a certain degree because LeBron went there knowing that the roster wasn't best built for him. Now, I don't
Because
know what they told him.
he was dependent on. He thought Magic can make everything happen, and you see, Magic left because there was other infighting within the organization that didn't allow him to make the moves he wanted to make.
Well, I agree with Magic. I agree with your point on Magic. But LeBron went to the Lakers willingly. The plan didn't pan out.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know,
panning out.
that's on him to
But
a
at the end
certain
of the day,
degree.
the Lakers about money. LeBron gonna make more. He gonna make the Lakers money.
But the Lakers franchise, bro, like there's never gonna be a Lakers season to where they not gonna sell out. That's the Lakers.
I don't know.
Nah, bro, that's the
Son.
Lakers.
I agree. As a Laker fan,
No.
I'm still on the waiting list for.
But when the
season.
Lakers been like trash, I'm talking like Atlanta Hawks trash.
But in the last 6 years, they've been trash.
Atlanta Hawks trash.
Yes.
Nah, dog. Now when the Lakers been in the lottery.
I tell you what, the Lakers in the lottery now. The Lakers been in the lottery. They had made the playoffs in 2013. The Hawks been in the playoffs since the Lakers
I
been.
mean lottery as far as having like a top 3 pick outside of the Lonzo pick.
They might have it this year
No, they.
because they record for the last couple of years.
They don't have a chance. They got like a 1% chance to make.
You
to
talking
get
about a top 3 pick?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll see. I don't know. I think the Lakers might have that top 3 pick right now. They what?
they got like a 1% chance.
They got what? The 6th highest, 7th highest chance or something like that.
No, they got like a 1% chance.
They're still bad.
We can talk about the Lakers, but first, let me just ask you this again. So you didn't think that Kyrie played that bad in the last series?
I mean, he was averaging 20 plus.
inefficient 20 plus.
But I mean, he didn't shoot particularly well.
He
I'll
averaged
give you that.
He averaged like 20 points.
Because 2, 3, 5, and 6. He was
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say he played well. Like he didn't play great, but it's not like the ball was just awful. I thought he could have played better. But the issue with Boston to me is not necessarily how well Kyrie played. It's about how Kyrie don't fit with that team. And a team like Milwaukee exposed them on the defensive side because guys like George Hill, Eric Bledsoe was getting in the paint at will. Middleton, Brogdon, Mirotic was knocking down every open shot they had.
Kyrie,
and then Giannis was doing whatever they could do on the defense.
Kyrie, or do you have too many other pieces around them? Like, they was fine with Gordon Hayward out. They were fine. It's the same team without Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward was another one. But that same team without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward was better last year than this year.
No, that team without Gordon Hayward with Kyrie in the playoffs was money.
When?
No, Gordon Hayward already been there.
No, I'm just saying, when Gordon Hayward was out for the year, Kyrie was balling out. Tell me I'm lying.
Talking about last year?
And all. Yes. Playoffs and all.
He ain't played that much in the playoffs.
Yeah, he only played like the first series, but they was better without him.
Yeah.
Cause think about it.
They went to the finals.
They went to the conference finals. They went 7 games too. So I think Kyrie. Because the thing about it, you look at them. There's an issue. You got 2 different types of teams in the NBA. You got guys with ball dominant guards, like the Houston Rockets with James Harden, with Russell Westbrook and OKC, and the Lakers with LeBron James. Guys who they run that ISO ball and they don't have no type of fluidity to the offense. Then you got teams like Boston who last year who the ball was constantly moving. You didn't have somebody dribbling the ball for like 5-10 seconds. That just didn't happen. And then what happens when you can swing the ball like that? You get a lot of more open layups, you get a lot more open jump shots, and your team becomes more efficient. Kyrie Irving inserted in that same situation makes the team worse, even though he's a great player. That's why him and LeBron didn't get along, because he wanted to play ISO ball, but LeBron was the big chief in that situation, and he played ISO ball. So that's why Kyrie don't really work in that situation.
Just to correct myself, I meant 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think I said 2, 3, 5, and 6.
Oh yeah, because they won game 1, and after that it was down
he
here.
played well in game 1.
Yeah,
that was it though.
But just quickly, we were already on the Lakers, just to touch on it. What do you think about the Lakers? Who do you think will be the next coach?
Well, Frank Vogel has taken over as head coach, and they also have added Jason Kidd to the roster, which is a problem for me. I respect Jason Kidd. I actually think Frank Vogel has been a good coach. My problem is the same situation what they tried to do with Ty Lue. They were trying to sign Ty Lue and tell him he had to sign Kirk Rambis as an assistant coach. When you hire a head coach as a front office, that's the only person you should hire. The head coach should be able to go pick out his staff and be able to get guys on the same page. I don't know how you want this man to run a team with a personality like LeBron James, and then you bring in an assistant coach like Jason Kidd, who's already been a head coach, who's already been a championship player. There's going to be too much headbutting in that locker room. I don't think that
they need a placeholder. Tyronn Lue is going to be a placeholder. I
mean, he was for LeBron, but I don't see why would you bring in Frank Vogel and Jason Kidd.
Well, you brought in Jason Kidd for LeBron.
Because
they got a relationship.
The biggest thing to me, what says a lot? Monty Williams staying, a guy you respect a lot.
You should respect too.
Monty Williams chose to go to the Phoenix Suns, who maybe won 10. Did he win 10 games this year? It was close to it. He chose to go to the Phoenix Suns over the Lakers. To me, that says a lot. The Lakers front office is in shambles. I hope they get it together because I think the NBA is better when the Lakers are good.
Gotcha.
Well, all right, we got that in. The Rockets, man. We haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, man, you talking about missing a golden opportunity.
Choke City.
City.
Like that last, 5 minutes?
Hey, man. I said this. Chris Paul did his thing, though. Chris Paul did his thing.
Yeah, I know you. I know that you're a Chris Paul hater.
I'm not a Chris Paul hater.
He did his thing.
Even
they ain't lose because of him.
Even though Chris Paul, look like he slowed down. He can't quite get past guys like he can. He balled in that game. Like, they was winning until they sat him in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, to me, you just mentioned the biggest problem with the Rockets, right? Mike D'Antoni, in my opinion, is the new Rick Adelman, Don Nelson, George Karl, whoever name you will put on it. He's a guy that might win you 50, 60 games in the regular season, but he's not going to win you a championship for stuff like that, you know. Think about those Phoenix Suns with Nash.
But let me interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I give it to you on him prior to the Rockets. But like last year, I can't blame that on him. I blame it on Harden. This year, I don't necessarily blame him per se. I feel like he made the right personnel move that he could make. He put them in a position to win. James Harden don't ever come through.
Well,
when your superstar don't ever come through for you, that ain't the coach. That's the player.
James Harden took a couple of really bad shots down the stretch, and just running that ISO, that was bad too.
When he balled out 38 when the losing effort, huh?
but
Yeah.
you will never hear me defend James Harden for being clutch because he's not. All right, James Harden is not clutch. But my issue with D'Antoni is I never liked his system. D'Antoni is a guy who this series, matter of fact, this series was the most the Rockets ever swung the ball. And when they were swinging the ball, getting movement, they were getting good looks. They were getting good shots. And for some reason, beyond me, Kevin Durant gets hurt and they go away from that. So I don't, and like you said, to your point, James Harden took some bad shots. But for the most part, Mike D'Antoni, his system, whether in Houston, whether with the Knicks, whether it's been with Phoenix, is like, okay, high tempo, we go get up quick shots, we go take threes, and we not go play that well of defense.
I agree with you up until these Rockets years. Like last year,
But even last year, they went 0 for 27 from 3-pointers. Like eventually, you gotta call timeout. You gotta switch it up. You can't just strictly put that on the players. Don't get me wrong. James Harden deserves blame. Period. Get it. With you on that. But I mean,
when that's your system, like you're not gonna go away from your system. Like if your system is predicated,
but the system
on
is what did you in? Because I think they got a good roster. They got a good team.
But what I'm saying is that system gave you success that whole time. Like and I didn't play basketball like that when I was in school, but any coach that I know of say, man, keep shooting.
Yeah,
Because you eventually gonna hit. Like I don't know no coach that wouldn't say just
No,
keep.
you tell certain
James
players
Harden.
to keep shooting.
But when all your players
James
3-point
Harden.
shooters,
James
you tell
Harden
them to keep
is
shooting.
James Harden is a regular season MVP,
You ain't gonna tell him, hey, don't.
but not in the playoffs.
So he paid Manning. Cool, get it. But I don't think D'Antoni helps that situation either.
But no, but I'm gonna say that they should have won last year. I'm not gonna blame
They
it on Dan.
definitely should have won last year.
But I'm blaming it on James Harden. He didn't come through at all.
I mean, they both get blamed, in my opinion.
I feel you, but it's not as bad as previous years. In previous years, they would just
You know
get beat.
what I don't like about James, and it is his fault, because he be always looking for a call instead of just balling.
Well-
always looking to cry.
Well, in my opinion, that's
Flopping
what I don't
and
like
kicking
about him
people.
or CP3. Like either you go flop or you go be Rick Mahorn. You can't be both. You can't be out here being dirty and then be whining for calls. To me, that don't make sense. I don't respect that about their game.
Like Stan said, Chris Paul balled, man.
Chris Paul
That
did
last
good
game.
Well, Chris Paul did play well. I can't take that away from him.
Chris Paul and your boy Gordon.
Eric Gordon played
He
well.
was playing good the whole
Doc
series.
Rivers, Austin Rivers played well.
What I'm
Clint
saying.
Capella had some good games.
So his system ain't broke. James Harden don't pull his weight in the system.
They were supposed to win that game.
I'm not arguing with you at all. Like I said, James Harden.
When Chris Paul, when Chris
Rock.
Paul went to the bench and James Harden came back in,
Terrible.
the whole
Question.
off.
Why did Chris Paul go to the bench?
He needed a rest.
In the fourth quarter, at the end of the game?
To me,
Who fault that is?
that's a coach. They should have rested him earlier.
That's all I'm saying.
But that doesn't negate the bad plays that James Harden made
Throughout the
at
game.
that point.
No argument on that.
In the last 5 minutes, man, he made a couple of horrible plays. Took some bad shots.
I'm just saying, James Harden is not clutch. He's a regular season MVP, like y'all say, but Mike D'Antoni didn't help him either.
Whatever.
You're a superstar in this league. You have to deliver.
Right.
Well, I think he get too much juice anyway, but that's just my opinion.
Anyway, we gonna take a quick commercial break, y'all. Even though we don't have anything like a commercial.
Biscuits and Bourbon, May 19th.
All right, coming soon. We gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.
You know your credit score bad. I'm not surprised you on the cover. That's solid quality time. Right. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books with Wall Street Journal? Wait a minute. Like, if I want you, I ain't saying you to Waffle House at 2 a.m. Cause you bullshit. Hey, look, I care about you. We going to Waffle House. And I love
All right, everybody, we're back, and we have this black prominent figure. You know we gonna do this all year around, not just during Black History Month. GP, who do you have for us, brother?
Man, we're going to talk about one, Joe Louis. Joe Louis was heavyweight champion of the world from 1937 to 1949. He participated in 26 championship fights over that time span. So just imagine what level of greatness you had to be a black man in 1937 to 1949 to be the heavyweight champion of the world and hold a title for 12 years. So big up Joe Louis on black excellence.
Brown Bomber. Also, Joe Louis actually enlisted in the military and put on, little events.
What there was, a slap in Cash's face?
Did you cut it off?
No.
Oh, and he put on little events for the soldiers to keep their morale up. So we salute you, Joe Louis. Good stuff, all of that. Don't have nothing to do with Muhammad Ali. We just talking about Joe.
Every time I talk about boxing.
Anyway,
Favorite, best scene in the movie, bro.
look.
He beat Joe Louis's ass.
Look, how many times I gotta tell y'all about Biscuit Bourbon, man? Really. It's gonna be the best place to go. Y'all always talking about you ain't got nowhere to go. Well, this Sunday, for limited time, you can buy a ticket and you can come to the best brunch ever in Baton Rouge.
No doubt. So yeah, I mean, people do complain about not having nothing to do, but we giving y'all something. So come out and enjoy yourself.
We put this here for you, Biscuits and Bourbon.
Ask somebody that went last year. It's gonna be lit.
Drop the biscuit, Mike.
Fellas, stop playing.
Oh, fellas. Man, woo. You gonna want to be in the building. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, go ahead and subscribe. At The Reserve Man on Instagram. You know how we do. And we are out.
You know your credit score bad. I'm not surprised you on the cover. That's